this and go. Welcome to Empowerment Through Intuition. Tonight, we're open again for any questions, as well as we're going to show you a couple little techniques when we answer the questions that you guys send to us for intuitive insight. We're going to share with you how we get the answers. Or I should say, I'm going to share with you how I get the answers. Chris just gets them from the angels.
Are you saying I cheat?
Cheat.
I have a method.
All right, well, welcome. I'm Nora Truscello. For those who don't know me, I'm a two-time best-selling author and international speaker on intuition. And my partner and dear friend.
Hi, I'm Chris Gurganus. Conversations with Chris. I'm a psychic and a medium, a healer and a teacher, and a spiritual and emotional support person. So come play with us. I'm going to teach you how to talk to the angels. Shh, Nora doesn't like it. She can't do it.
Oh, I can do it. I just don't keep them turned on constantly like you. You taught me. You're like one of my best teachers. I have some powerful mentors, that's for sure. All right, guys, so you feel free in the Q&A section. Chat away, have fun in the chat. In the Q&A section is only for actual questions, so Chris and I can kind of keep track. Those of you who are joining us on Facebook, please log into the webinar if you want to be able to put up a question. And I don't have any questions up yet, which really shocks me because I told them how they could do it quickly.
Yeah, for everybody that wasn't here, we kind of ended up live a few seconds too early. Yeah. So we got to see a little of our get ready for the show routine. It was amusing for everybody.
I do know, and I can possibly even ask her question for her. Lisa, oh, here we go. Lisa's got it. Lisa, I am at a crossroads between two job offers. Both have pros and cons. One is comfortable and good money from the start, but the other one is going to be a pay cut and step back, but an amazing opportunity in the long run at a very prestigious salon. This confusion is making me sick. This confusion is making me think I may have made a mistake quitting my original job, although it was negative. I did start both new jobs to try to help me decide, but it did not help. I am still confused. Okay. So I'm going to suggest, Lisa, that you have to right now identify one of those places as A and the second place as B. Do not tell us what you're labeling them. Because Chris and I are just going to look and see in our mind's eye. She'll look to the angels. They'll show her the letter. I look to my divine by stepping back and looking at a board. And whatever letter is most predominant is the answer that they would suggest you go. But you need to know that we don't just get the answer that's best for you necessarily financially, but it's also what's best for your soul growth. Like what will serve you best in your development in your lifetime, not just necessarily, prestige or money. So I'm going to assume you have one for A and one for B. What do you have, Chris?
I get A.
Yep, we both got A. So, honey, whatever A is, we would definitely say go for that. And again, guys, you see how easy it was? There is another way you could have created two rows. Lisa, just say a little prayer and ask for guidance on how to best handle making that move into A, and just know it is the one that's going to serve you. And thanks for joining us. All right, you want to take Becky?
Well, let me just add something to Lisa's.
Go ahead.
Lisa, what you can do is you can ask them, if you're still confused on how to make the transition, just ask God and the angels to show you the way or to open the doors, and just to do it for you with grace and ease. And they will. They'll light the path, and if you don't see it, say, come on, guys, light it up like neon. I'm a jet coming in for landing, and I don't know where to go. And that's what I do. And it'll be so blindingly clear that you can't help but find the markers. All right. Becky was asking, so the announcement came for the live in September, early enrollment for classes with you guys yet.
Becky, thank you for that plug. Oh, let's tell them. We got a 25% off tonight for the Atlantic City event. So if you put in the word empowerment You get 25% off your tickets for the next 3 days. Please use the link on this particular feed or the link on my website under events. The link on Facebook does not give you the option to put in the code. And the code again is the word empowerment, all capital letters, for 25% off. The classes are come heck to high water. We're going to do an announcement about them on Monday. We will get something out on Sunday to let you know about it. The delay is my difficulty with the program Thinkific. Anybody out there who understands Thinkific, I will pay you to coach me on Sunday in getting this stuff properly loaded and looking right. We have the materials, we're ready to rock and roll. I just don't have the computer knowledge. So thanks for asking.
Psychics and electronics don't necessarily make good bedfellows, people.
Yeah, they really don't, but not
We're
only
trying.
I am extremely left-brained, believe it or not. Everything is logical. Everything falls into place. And people find that kind of amusing. Like, they think everybody who's psychic is, ooh, and artsy and, all about flower power. No, we're very logical people. And it's just, there's so many programs I've had to learn since Chris and I got started. And so much information that you need this program to send an email and inform this program and then that one, and that, not being a person who's ever really been that interested in computers, it does take a bit. So keep me in your prayer, guys, and get me somebody who knows Thinkific. All right, let's see. Lisa, I'm back in school to learn a new profession, which involves putting hands on people to get facials and massages. There are young students in my class who gravitate to me requesting energy healing and advice about health and personal issues. Interesting. I'm surprised they do this. Do you feel I'm being led by spirit into a realm to focus on or explore? All right, I'm just going to tell you, because we're talking about techniques that are, things that you guys can do. So what I'm going to do is a technique of creating two roads. Is this the road that God is leading her on to be more of a spiritual healer and guide young people? Or is it that he's putting her on a road to just stay with the massage? Or is he putting her on a road that is, you're going to do the massage, you're going to do the facials, but it's going to open the opportunity for you to also do healing.
So there's A, B, and C.
There was actually a C also, right? So
C is a combination of A and B.
Right.
Gotcha.
And so I hope I'm telling you, I'm getting C loud and clear.
So I got a C like bling, bling, bling.
Yeah, I was like, this isn't two offers because I'm already showing me C, so I got to go over to C. So Lisa, technically they want you exactly where you are, and that you can help the people around you. And that not only when you're out of school, but when you're in a salon or you're in a spa, you'll be making a difference for the people that are there as well.
But I got some other information. She's empathic, and she's got to start to keep her energy clear. And they're going to have you work on energy medicine later on. You're going to become a practitioner, I think. And a Reiki practitioner, because I see you doing Reiki symbols, and I see you hands-on energy and moving the energy in a way that Donna Eden teaches and a couple hands-on people teach. So you might take 3 or 4 different courses and become practitioners in 2 different ways, and the Reiki as well. So you might end up working in a healing center.
Oh, and also got C. That's great. I love it, guys. Please participate. This isn't just about me and Chris. This is about all of us being able to share with each other. We're a community of friends. I think that's it. I thought there was something else I wanted to say to Lisa, but I got distracted. I'm sorry. Nothing like me, computers. Hi, Halden. Nice to see you, sweetheart. Thanks for joining us again. Gosh, there was something. I know there was something I wanted to say. It'll come to me. So hang on, Lisa. When it comes back to me, I will definitely jump back to it. Real quick though, our class, oh, that's what I wanted to say. The classes, Elena is going to be providing Reiki 1 certification and then Reiki 2 certification. Her programs will be really entailed. They are videotaped. Any of these classes that we are teaching, we are 100% there for you. You can ask us questions at any time. We will get back with you very rapidly. We are not just putting these classes up and saying bye, because it is, we stand by what we're teaching and we want to make sure you get it. So, and we're also putting up some free classes. And these are free classes on protection and how to prepare before you take our classes. We want you to so understand the importance of what we always talk about, prayer and protection, that we're making these free, and these are not classes we usually ever give for free. They're sort of our bread and butter, but we decided that you being safe is more important, and so Chris and I are both doing at least a 1-hour class on the protection, what to do, different methods, and then you're welcome to sign up for whatever you like. So on Monday, we'll have more information all about these. We will get out emails to you. Keep it in your prayers. Somebody comes along and helps me. So I stay on track. All right, let's see who else we have. We have an anonymous. My finances are always in a disarray. Do you see me finally getting them in order? It's been 2 years now. I'm still struggling and goggling. Googling?
Juggling, maybe?
Googling? I don't know. I'm a terrible reader. But it doesn't matter. I don't see it getting better. Not anytime soon. I apologize for that. Part of the reason is when I look at you, okay, so what am I doing, guys? I don't know even if this is a male or a female, but I call forth this person's spirit. So this person's spirit now appears in my mind's eye. And I look at the spirit's energy, because I ask for the energy of the person's emotions, spiritual, physical being, what's going on. And there is a real emotional crushing energy going across your throat and your chest. So it's because you are not self-expressing, you are not being fully yourself, that you're stuffing down so much that you can't get out of this financial bad situation. This is sort of like the symptom to whatever's going on here. You are not doing what you want. You are stuffing down a lot of emotion. What do you get, Chris?
Well, I asked to see what was the problem, and they gave me a rocky cliff that you feel like you're crawling up this rocky cliff with your bare hands. And every time you look back, it just looks like an empty void. And when you look up, I see the sky, so there's hope. But I also see a lot of more climbing before you get to that cliff. And I see an ability for you to change it, because they're showing me there's another path around this mountain that you could get up, take the path and walk around it. So what Nora's saying is you have to speak your own truth, and you have to stop telling people that, yeah, I'm okay, when you're over there drowning, because you're not. And whether it's financially or emotionally, it's all the same. It's all the same pattern, and that's why you keep struggling and juggling.
Mm-hmm. And I'm also seeing like that side path Chris is talking about looks like it's horrific, and it's going to be so utterly easy once you make that move. And
just like a jump over.
Yeah, it's like a nothing. It's like, whew, oh my God, I can't believe you're almost going to forget how difficult things were, but you have got to make that move, and that move looks so frightening because it's like over the edge, but it's not. It actually
You're just going to go around the mountain, but you can't see around that bend, and that's why you're frightened, because you think it just stops at the edge of the mountain, and it doesn't. And there's a lot of emotional struggles that you keep replaying that you need to stop. It's not healthy. And it's tied up in your chest and in your heart. When Nora goes across like this, I'm feeling it's pulling from the heart chakra. And it's backing up to the throat.
Definitely. Because it's going against your will. Okay. You good, Chris?
I'm good.
All right, Holden, you're saying you would prefer a text answer. So do me a favor, honey, cut and paste this into an email to me, all right? And I will answer it for you offline. But please make sure you cut and paste it into an email to me, because I'm still learning how to retrieve the questions from these programs. It's not like I'm stupid, guys. It's just there's so much.
There is. There's like everything's got its own little way to do it.
Yeah, and then you do it once, and then, it's a week later before you have to do it again, and you already learned 12 other things. It gets overwhelming. So please make sure you send that to me, and I will address it, and I'll shoot it over to Chris so she can put her input too. Okay, Diane, I had an interview today for a new job. It went well. The people who interviewed me were nice. The work is similar to what I did 14 years ago. Is this the right path for me? Will I get a job offer? I feel as if I am meant to do something more, perhaps at the same time as the job. All right, how do you want to handle it? You take this one first?
Well, I think Diane's going to get the job.
Yeah,
I feel like there's more to it than you're seeing. That are you meant to do something more, perhaps at the same time as the job? Yes, but it's gonna be something different than what you normally do for a living. So if you sit and do computer work, if you're sitting doing this and talking on the phone all the time, I see you getting up and moving around. So it might be something completely different than what you currently do. And it might be a little bit harder to get used to, but I feel like it's just because you feel unsure and that you want that second to learn and to branch out. I just get it's more of an education and a branching out. And it's not derogatory or putting you down or pushing you to work harder. I feel like it's just a growth, just a nice little growth. And it's going to lift you up later on to a higher position. So just go with the flow.
Yeah, because you're not going to get a job. The offer is not going to be as nice as you want it to be, or you would like it to be, or you believe you need it to be. But the potential with the offer, like Chris is saying, I absolutely see growth and promotion. So you might have to take a hit in the beginning in order to get the advantages at the end.
Right.
Okay?
And I think it'll work out quickly. So don't worry.
Yeah, you're going to get this fast. Linda, hi Nora, hi Chris. My question is for me to accept the job I was offered at work. I'm going to ask for a specific amount, increasing my hourly wage. Will it be given to me? All right. So I'm just going to ask, yes, is it going to be given to me, or no, is it going to be given, and not going to be given to her? Or is there something in between? Is it going to be a counter offer of some kind? So I'm going with A is yes, you get it. B is no, you don't get it. C is they counter with something. And again, I'm just bringing up that board, and I'm getting A, but I'm also.
That's what I got.
Yeah. So they might counter, but you could just kind of be quiet for a moment and say, I would really like this. And you're going to get it, okay? Expect them to come back with a little something, though, because C is just like a light flicker, so they're going to see if they can get you down, but they want it at the price. Okay, super. So again, see, it's another simple technique, guys. I keep using images in my mind. These are real easy things you can do, but you want to be in a prayerful place and make sure you're spiritually ready. All right, you want to take Becky?
Okay, that's interesting. Last night I was called out to my practice. Called out to practice my Reiki in a large group circle. So I had some of your techniques, Chris. So thank you, because the response was very good. It took Reiki just for myself, but it is opening up differently than I planned. So I guess I came back out of the closet, so to speak.
Wonderful. I love it.
Well, you know, the spirit has a way of doing that to you. They kind of like hang a little carrot and they go, "Come on, you can do it. Come on." And
Yeah.
then before you
Awesome.
know it, you're waist deep in alligators and you're going, "How did I get here again?"
Right?
And you're calling Nora and I, and you go, well, "Am I really supposed to be here?" And we're laughing, going, "Yeah, that was a carrot. You weren't watching the alligators because you're fouling the carrot."
Okay,
But
I'll say,
seriously, you guys have to realize that Nora and I use the ABC system with each other a lot,
all the time.
because we get too close to each other, and what I want as an outcome for her and what she wants as an outcome for me. Sometimes I'll just text her ABC, or she'll text me
Right.
ABCD, and we'll just text back an answer. Like
We
whatever
have,
comes
yeah,
up,
we have
bam.
several friends. We do this with several friends. We have a prayer group that's a pretty large group that we are always texting, pray for this person, that person, and people respond throughout the day. But every once in a while, you'll get a question. Guys, A or B?
And we just answer and we move on.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
And that's exactly, it doesn't have to be a big deal for you. And if you don't want to do it for yourself, because it's hard, you can't do it for yourself. You have
Right.
to ask a friend. So
You have to have a buddy system.
with a friend, hold their hands and say, okay, we're going to say the Lord's Prayer, and then I'm going to tell you A or B, and you tell me which one it is. But you want to start with that prayer. You want to be on the safe side of wherever that intuition is coming
Right. You always want to be protected, even if you're just asking for a quick answer. And I guess because Nora and I start the day with prayer, we don't even get out of bed without praying,
Right.
honestly. And we don't go to bed without praying. And it's not for everybody to do it like that, but because we're so open, and our channel has to stay clear, because we're answering so much in the spirit realm and so much in the psychic realm, that intuitively we can get into quick trouble if we don't stay conscious of where we're at. And that's why we're trying to tell you guys how to do it. And I tease Nora all the time, because she tells me I cheat by using the angels, because I got them on like 911 call. And people are like calling me, "Do something." I'm like, "My name's not God, it's Chris, and I'll call him and ask him."
Yeah.
And people are like, they think I can do things. And I'm like, "I can pray. I pray like you pray. Put your hands together."
And pray. If you pray, you're going to get clear answers that you can trust. If you don't pray, you will get answers.
But they may not
I
be the
can't
right.
yet. You don't know if you can trust them. You don't know.
Right.
It's like a kid with a Ouija board.
Oh
You
my
might
God,
not
don't
have
even say that
any
word.
trouble. But then again, you have no idea what's coming over, and you might have horrific trouble for a very long time. So
Yeah,
it's
because
effortless.
it's like when you open that Ouija board, it's like a house with bed bugs. You can't get rid of them.
Yep.
I mean, you have to have the specialist of the specialist. We can't even send some of the cleaning teams out. Nora and I, they'll call us and they'll go, "Oh, we think it's really bad here. What do you guys think? Can you check it out?" And then Nora's like texting me, "Chris, what do you think about this?" And I'm like, I'm not liking it over there either."
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's really bad. So, guys, just be careful. I use a whiteboard with the angels, and I put it in the holy light. And it's like a little whiteboard, and I tell them if I can't hear it, write it on the whiteboard. But I have the cross above the whiteboard, and I have it protected with God's light. So that way nothing can write on it but those that serve the light.
And
That's my way of doing it.
Yeah, we sound obsessive, but it's really not. It's just common sense.
Just protective.
Right. You're not going to cross the street without looking both ways. You're just not. So you're just not going to ask these intuitive questions without saying a prayer. It's that simple. So get a buddy that you trust, a good friend, and say, look, I need an A or B answer. Let's say a Lord's Prayer together and help me out. Give me the answer you get. Because you know what A stands for, you know what B stands for. So you obviously can't do it for yourself, but there are other ways. All right, Lori, my son is almost 8 months old. I know he's so cute. And lately, he has been waking up very scared in the middle of the night, almost like he had a nightmare. Is this even possible for him to have bad dreams yet? If so, is there anything I can do to help him? Okay, first thing, the mommy in me came out because see, I know Lori. Lori is Chris's daughter. So this is like, whoa, now I have to emotionally detach. But before I emotionally detach and give you what I'm getting intuitively, I'm going to tell you what my mommy instinct says. Did you change his medicine, his formula, anything like that recently? If you have, it's possible he's getting night terrors from it. Cough, a certain kind of cough drop, anything. So just be aware of that. Make sure you tell the doctor. Now I'm going to unclick out of the, oh my God, it's Lori mode, and go and ask for guidance. And yes, it's very possible for him to have nightmares. A child is closer to God and the other side than we are because they just left the other side. So they're very aware of the angels, of demons, of dark sides and good sides, and the deceased. It's all real to them. It's not real to us as we grow, but it's still very real to them. His reason. He's being bothered intentionally. I don't get that it's a demonic type of bother or something really evil trying to get at him. I get that he's picking up an emotional hurt inside of your immediate family, not your mommy's family, your family, mommy, daddy, child. There's some kind of emotional hurt and it's coming out inside the dream state because that's the child's filtering what he's sensing and picking up during the day. So you guys might want to do some prayers for some peace in your family, counseling for some peace in your family. Something's off. Lack of communication. Do something to get it smooth. There's something not smooth. And I hope I didn't say anything out of line. Guys, got to remember, when you ask us these questions, we just give you what we're getting. I have no idea if Lori's in a happy-go-lucky relationship or if she's having a difficult one. I just know she's Chris's daughter, who I see once in a while, and I see the baby on Facebook all the time. But this is, I'm getting there is a friction in the mommy-daddy baby, and the baby is picking that up and processing it through a bad dreams. That's how how he's dealing with it. All right,
Aaron on the feed says that he's gifted and he's a strong empath and he's a child of destiny is what her grandma says. I know he's gifted.
Oh, I mean, I truly believe all children are gifted. I believe every one of them are born with so much. It's just as they get older, how fast they shut it down, or do they keep it open? And if you're lucky enough to be in Chris's family, you get to keep it open. So this little man's going to get to keep it open. But I don't know, Chris, do you pick up anything more?
Well, I just get some negativity around him at night, and it's because it's when he's at his least resistant time. And he's very, very empathic, and he's very gifted. And when they bring him over, he wants to suck up my energy, and he just looks at everybody. And even if he's having a bad day, he's telling me, and he's nya at me, and I pat his butt and I tell him, I say, I understand, just let it all out, baby boy. And we talk, and he yams at me, and I'm like, okay. And then he'll tell me when he needs to be changed, when he wants to eat, and then he'll get a little fussy, and then he'll go to sleep. And Lori's always telling me, Mom, don't put him to sleep. He won't sleep at night.
If he's in your energy, he can't help it. Lori, what you can do too, sweetheart, is above his crib or above his little place where he sleeps, do some figure eights and say a Lord's Prayer. Call in St. Michael and ask for the blue angels to line around him in a secure, safe manner and keep him fully safe. Whether it be disturbing energies, disturbing emotions, keep them away so that he may have a healthy, restful sleep. And they will. They'll come and help him out. The blue angels are like militant angels. They're like kind of St. Michael's team. They come down like lightning.
Whoosh!
Oh, it's amazing. It's almost, I call them militant because it looks like a military formation. They
Oh,
come in,
yeah, they're really strong and fast.
and they'd come in a heartbeat if you asked for their assistance, especially, a
So you
mommy
can
has
look up the St. Michael's prayer and just ask for him to send a team of his angels, the blue angels, to protect you and your son while you sleep. And keeping them around the baby all day long.
Exactly. Okay, sweetie, I hope we helped. Holden, where do you see me living in the future? Where do I see Holden living in the future? I see a large room that's kind of not furnished right now. Like a very sparse but well lit place. So I'm getting that you really have this tremendous desire to
Be
be
by himself.
somewhere, right? But you don't have the means, hence the room has no furniture, has a beautiful window, so it is what you want. As far as future goes, I don't see you being able to financially move out on your own for about 2 years. But maybe I'm off, Chris.
I get 2021.
That's about 2 years.
2020, no, 2020 or 2021.
Yeah.
And he just wants to be alone. He wants to be left alone. And that's why he wants to move out. He doesn't feel like everybody understands him. And
And they
he
probably
wants to
don't.
be independent.
Yeah, most young people aren't understood. I mean, every stage of life, when we leave that last stage and move into the next, we kind of forget what it was like in that previous stage. And so you're now dealing with adults, and you're in the middle stage. Well, they've had several stages between. They really can't relate. They think they remember, but even if they do remember, it's different for you. Every person has a different experience. Even though it might be similar, it's perceived and felt differently. So no one's going to understand anybody else. So, yeah.
Well, Deb is next. And she's saying, my son is swamped with medical bills. Insurance appears not to be paying as much as expected. Lost his job, but they rehired him, promising a promotion. Will he be stuck with these overwhelming bills? Will he be promoted? I get a payment plan for the bills. And yes, he will get promoted, but it's not going to be for 6 months or so. I'm getting it's not right away. The promotion's not coming right away.
I also get that some of those bills can be fought with but it's almost like a full-time job fighting them. So it depends, like you said, swamped with medical bills. You have to decide, is it worth the amount of effort it's going to take to fight these companies? Because it's going to require letters of medical necessity. So now you're dealing with doctors' offices, trying to get the records that you need, and then sending them to the insurance companies only to have them say they never got them. You will win. I'm
If you
hearing like
fight it.
30%, 30 to 35% of that, if you put that effort in. So it's 30 to 35% worth the total. That's a decision you need to make. Coming from a person who was a medical practice manager, I lived that stuff. We had to fight all the time for everything. Doctors don't get paid without fighting almost every single claim. And we did well. I mean, we got a good 80 to 90% of stuff paid. But I'm being told with you, you have a good opportunity to get about 35%. Okay, Miss Shauna, my nephew Nathan is 18. He's been struggling the past 2 years, has had some legal issues and battled recovering from drug addiction and on and off depression. Do you see him coming through this and moving on to a productive life? He's so young and struggles with being able to see the whole picture. Thank you. All right, his battles are not over. He is not done struggling with drugs is what I'm seeing. I mean, so what am I seeing? I asked them to show me. So here's another simple technique. I just said, show me his path, and his path was just chaotic. Like, it's such a disturbance that I knew it was drugs. That would be representative of drugs to me. So he's not quite done his struggles. So probably won't be done his legal battle simply because of that. But I'm not getting anything on the legal end. Chris?
Nora, where are you getting this from? I'm not seeing it.
Shauna?
Yeah.
Scroll up a tiny bit. Shauna's between Holden and Debbie. Deb got.
Oh. I don't got a Shauna on my side.
Okay, you want me to read it again, or you all right?
No, I got it. Whatever you just said. That she's worried about her son, right?
It's her nephew, 18 years old, struggled for 2 years with legal issues as well as drug addiction, on and off depression. Do you see him coming through this and moving on to a productive life? He's young and struggles. Will he ever see the whole picture?
I get eventually, but he doesn't really want to heal. He likes the world that he's in. And he kind of lives like in a little bit of a fantasy world. Like he's not based in reality, is what I'm getting.
Not at all. And I'm also being told if he does straighten out, it will be by 27 if he survives. I'm sorry to tell you that. If he survives.
Yeah,
exactly what
he's on a dangerous than nice. And he has to decide if he wants to live. Because I think there's a big part of the depression that's trying to tell him it's not worth it and that he can't. He feels like I see quicksand, like he's sinking and he can't get out of it. Like he's just sinking further and further. And every time he tries to make a move or anything, he just feels like it gets worse.
Okay, I want to take a 2-second pause here. Listen, guys, know that when you ask us these kind of questions, it is public. I mean, it's clear. So just, if you're not sure you want this kind of stuff online, make an appointment with Chris or an appointment with me, one of us, and mostly Chris, because she'll answer them intuitively. I'm going to be more of a counselor than an intuit. I use my intuitive skills for it, but that's besides the point. But let's take a 20-second break here and tell you tonight and for 3 days, we put the tickets for Atlantic City, a 25% discount. So if you put in the word empowerment, as in empowerment through intuition, you will get 25% off. Please do not use the link on the Facebook ads. It will not give you a place to put it. I did put a link on the top of the Facebook Live feed tonight, or you could just go to my website, intuition.com, under events, and log in that way. It will give you a place to put the code. The code again is empowerment, and you'll get 25% off. And we really are looking forward to seeing people there. Chris
we want playing people. Come on, come play with us.
Chris and I like to do events, and we usually present something in a teaching manner and then read the room. We're not doing that in Atlantic City. We're just going to hit the road running. We are going to only read. And our system, for those who've never seen us before, is a lot different than any other psychics that do shows. Teresa Caputo is really fast. She's great. And that's how we are. She gets up. She's like, okay, boom, this is who's here. And she starts talking to a person. John Edwards and others, they kind of stay up there. They tell you what they're getting, and somebody has to acknowledge it and say, I believe it's my aunt. I believe it's my dad, something like that. Chris and I do it slightly different. We just ask you to stand up. Anybody who stands up for us want to stand up, we just grab you and say, okay, you're next. And we just read you. So it's really a popcorn kind of game. You just pop up and we read you. As soon as that person's done crying and was taken care of, they sit down and the next person pops up. Sometimes 2 or 3.
And they let the next person cry and they hand the tissues over.
Right. We do. We pass around tissues. That's why we limit it to 100 people, because it is a 3-hour event and we will kick butt getting through. Just like we kick butt on this show. We don't play games. We get to it quick. we spend a little bit more time with you with the shows because they're usually very emotional due to the fact that you bring all your dead family members. So please remember to use that code empowerment so you get that 25% discount. All right.
We're going to be sitting on water on a full moon. This
Oh my
is
gosh.
a rocking time.
This place is beautiful, guys. The conference room is surrounded on 3 sides by gigantic windows, and all 3 sides overlook water. We are literally on this little peninsula of the island in the old part of Atlantic City.
And we're going to be sitting on top of the fish.
And we're going to be sitting on top of fish tanks, right? So, I mean, between a full moon and the energy of the water, you know, it's going to blow our minds, let alone yours. It's going to be so much fun. And afterwards, we will have a gathering for anybody there who is also signed up for our classes. So that we're
going to have a VIP gathering just for our little students to come and play with us for a little while and have a bite.
Yes. So there's our little break, and we're going to jump right back into the questions so we can get as many in as possible. Denise, my grandson is starting high school in September. Do you see him doing well? He struggled this past year, hoping he does well this year. Okay, so again, we want to give you techniques out how to see things. So just you say your prayer, and what I do for a question like this is I'm looking at a timeline. So I just see this long carpet, and I'm like, okay, let's walk the timeline. What's going on? He's going to sociably adjust really easily. There will be those people that just are asses and don't get along and just try to be a bully type of a situation. He handles it very well. He's able to move, kind of keep with a decent group of crowd, which is nice. That is huge. As far as safety goes, as far as confidence goes, he's going to do great in that respect. I also don't see him struggling very much with his grades. I mean, I see him like a C student. Chris?
I don't see him really having a problem as long as he decides to focus, because I see a lot of extracurricular activities going on, and I feel like the girls are one of the problems. He's a little cutie pie, and they're all buzzing around like little fireflies, and he's like, look at that, look at that. And I get, if you can focus them, you'll get them through this.
I did see a lot of activity. That's excellent. Thank you.
I wouldn't worry about drugs and alcohol. I worry about women.
I would not. Yeah, you know what? He is going to be with a good group. But the good group is, of course, going to try some drinking, hang out with girls, the normal stuff. So you do have to keep normal supervision over him. But you are not going to have a troublemaker son and a grandson. And so if he doesn't do super great in school academically, he's going to...
Nora, you must be seeing things I'm not seeing on the speed, because the last one I got was Deb Gutshaw about her son's medical bills, and then I got one from Helden.
Okay, close your Q&A and open it back up again.
I tried that.
Okay, well then I'll read the next one because I don't want to...
Well, hold on, you're missing Carolina. She's been in there.
Holden, I have to skip you, honey, because we already answered your question, but you can always personally email me. You're like my favorite little guy. You're not even a little guy. I call you a little guy. You're taller than me. I met Holden years ago, and only once. Lovely young man, came to one of my classes. I had so much fun with him, and his mom joined us too. All right, Carolina, I find myself living with intention. I can sense and notice the change in my perception and manner of things. I've had the realization that I'm afraid to be my true self. How do I push past or release the resistance within me? Morning meditations, girlfriend, especially this week. She does join us. What would you recommend, Chris?
You have to be honest with yourself. And I think you're trying to be, and that's how you figured out that you're afraid. You're afraid of what the future holds for you and how to get there without causing a disruption in your world as you see it now. And they're telling me to just put your hand in God's hand and just see your hands reaching up for God's hands, and just ask him to carry you the rest of the way and show you a vision to understand what you're supposed to be doing. And it might seem like a dream, but they're going to show you. And they'll carry you the rest of the way. And you won't even have a problem. It'll go with grace and ease, love, joy, and happiness.
And I want to give a shout out to Carolina. She actually was one of the people who stepped up to help me redesign the intuitive footprint so that it would be a way that I could teach it to you guys without having to be in a large group of other people to do it. And I really thank you for that. And I am not surprised that your true self is now trying to get out, because intuitively and spiritually, you've been growing so fast. Just keep it in prayer, like Chris said, and be willing also. And when I'm dealing with huge changes, I often, before going to bed, ask for it to be resolved in a dream, in a manner that will serve me, that I do not have to process it upon my waking. It will all be handled for me. Sounds insane, but it works. Not every time. Sometimes I need to process it in my awake state. Like God's like, now you ain't getting away with it that easily. But it is an option, and it does work often. Okay. We got, you know what, I have to backtrack. I told Holden I wasn't going to answer too many more questions, but he's got such a powerful question. I am going to back up and grab this one. Doesn't just saying the word Jesus work after using a Ouija board? If not, why is that an exception? First of all, nice try, Wise.
I knew you were going to get this one.
I know, as soon as I saw that. So guys, I mentioned Ouija boards as an example. Believe it or not, Ouija boards are highly dangerous. They are just magnets to the other side, portals to the other side. So what you're asking is, after you use the Ouija board, you just say the name of Jesus and everything's all cleared up. Well, he's not your handyman, number one. He's not your cleanup crew, number two. Number three, why should it clean up a mess that you created? You welcomed this crap in. You first of all have to pray more than just saying his name, Jesus. It doesn't work like that. There's a prayerful way. You want to say his name in a very honorable way before you even try opening up anything intuitively. Personally, I would prefer you just don't use the Ouija board even after praying. Can you pray, get enough protection to use a Ouija board? Of course. I mean, but why would you? Because if you're not right on target and you don't say it clearly and you're not in the right heart, mind, and soul place, it isn't going to work. And I mean, Chris and I are prayer warriors. We pray constantly. And before the show, she was correcting me on how I wasn't praying properly for something. And I'm a prayer warrior. I still need it. Like, you need that other person to say, no, you're not getting this right. You're not being specific. You're not this. So why would you take that kind of chance? Especially, those of us who do it consistently still need coaching.
Let's just get it a little bit more down to the earth and forget about all of that before we even go there.
Okay.
God is never even going to upsurge your free will. Right. You made the mess. Your free will opened that door. You deal with the problem. End of story. Go with God, my son.
Right. But if your free will is to ask for his protection ahead of time.
Right.
So yeah, Chris is 1,000% correct. Okay, Anonymous. My musically talented young adult son always dreamed of a music career in sound engineering and recording, but he seems discouraged and stuck now. His ambition is dying. Sad face. What can I say to encourage him? He shuts out advice. I'm hearing don't say anything, just listen. He really needs to be allowed to be sad and be allowed to struggle, but have an ability for you to hear him. I mean, I'm loud and clear, I'm being told, listen, actively listen, actively listen. Now, actively listening is different than just listening. You are repeating back to him in your own words what he just said, so you can be sure you understand him, and you're also expressing the emotion. Okay, honey, I just want to make sure I understand. You like really look sad, and you're saying you're not sure if you want to be bothered with music anymore. It's very difficult for us as parents not to say, but you got to be, got to have that, mm-mm. And then let him say what he wants to say. Yeah, I'm really fed up. I'm really depressed. This is such bullshit. Yeah, I know. And life can throw us some serious bullshit at times. So you're repeating. That's actively listening. I mean, I'm hearing it like screaming. Actively listen.
And and the only thing I got to add to that is when you're actively listening, like Nora's telling you, and he gets to the point where he's frustrated, he wants to give up music and he wants to find something else, just calmly ask him, so son, what else would hold your attention and your interest?
Yeah, after he gets
And
it all out, then you might add a leading question like that. Yeah.
right, and then you're going to get him thinking, and he's going to get all tied up in knots and think, I don't really want to do anything else. This is what I like to do. Well, when there's a will, there's a way. That's what my father used to tell me all the time. And if he's meant to be in music, no matter which way he turns, God's going to bring him right back to where he's supposed to be. And every time he decides he's going to go left, he's going to make him go, sorry, right-hand turn. And you can pray for him. That always helps.
I was going to say, yeah, keep them in your prayers. We prayed for our kids every day. We prayed with our kids every day. And I'm proud to say my 3 sons don't have any alcohol or drug problems. They're all good husbands. 2 of them are wonderful fathers. Prayer makes a difference in our children's lives. My mom still prays for all of her kids. Thank God she does.
And sometimes I call her and say, Mom, can you just pray for me? She'll be like, okay, dear.
Anything you need.
She takes requests. We've got one on the webinar chat, Nora. It's from Michelle. It says, hello, ladies. I'm not sure if I'm doing this right, LOL. My question is, for a while now, I keep seeing a purple indigo flash orb, like a light out of the corner of my eye. It happens about 3 to 5 times a day. What is it? I never get a negative feeling from it. Do you want me to answer it, or you want to answer it?
Go ahead, because I got this question on Messenger, and I said, bring it to the webinar. Let me and Chris answer it there. So you go ahead first.
Okay, Michelle, I'm getting that you're seeing God lights, and it's an angel, and it's coming from the protective field of St. Michael's area, and this angel is flashing you its colors to let you know you're protected and everything's going to be okay. You in your heart and your soul must feel like there's something changing that's making you feel unsettled. And they're just giving you kind of like a little God light. Hi, how you doing? And they're not showing up in your main field. So sometimes you think, did I see it or didn't I see it? And they're going, yeah, we're here. Beep, 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 beep. And you're like, okay, it's there again. And you don't worry about it. Go ahead, Nora, you tell what you think.
Real quick, guys, when you have a question, there's a Q&A box on the bottom of the pictures where Chris and I are. That's where you put them, because we can't always catch everything that's on the feed, and we don't want to mess up. I joked with her on Messenger today. I said, get an eye doctor's appointment. But I knew it was God lights. And it's just cool. I know what you're saying. It's very small, it's very fast, and it's just there and then gone. It's a confirmation that spiritually you're moving in the right direction. Now, please don't think when they disappear that they're not there for you. They are still there for you. Just sometimes they want to make sure you know they're there, because you might be going through some struggle. So it's their way of giving
calming you
of extra loving. Yeah. Okay, Gina. Hello, my beautiful ladies. Hello, lady. You guys know I've been a busy girl. I've even got an extra little blessing tonight that was pretty cool. Is there a business opportunity that is going to come out of my party? Anything I should know, Chris? Wink, wink.
Wink. I'm getting you. There's a lot of opportunities. Keep hearing popcorn popping. So things are going to be popping at the party, and I get a lot of doors opening up. So there's possibilities, and I get it's part of. They keep showing me a star card. To me, that's opportunities that you're in a state of grace to receive, and they're telling me just sit back, relax, and let it come to you. Don't work for it. Just be you, and it'll come to you.
And it's going to be around music, which is something that was supposed to be around with you for a long time. I do remember that, and I'm hearing that damn Caribbean music again. I mean, way back, man. I don't even. The funny thing is,
Steel drums.
read you guys, and Chris and I, we forget everything. It's not like we remember it. And I mean,
Let it
now
go.
I remember way back when we were first doing the show, Gina asked us, and I was hearing Caribbean music. So, honey, I got that Caribbean music again. Something with music on a cruise ship. I don't know, but it's there. Okay, we have a few more minutes, so let's grab Aaron. Okay, I'm a lover of scary movies. Why do I feel a need to fast forward or block the screen or pray when things are chanted or ceremonies are done? Do movies really have that kind of power? Or am I paranoid? You are not paranoid at all.
That's serious.
The shows that are on today are horrific. They use real chants. They use Harry Potter's books are all real chants used by Wiccan, used by Satanists, used by pagans. They're all real chants. Now, I'm not telling you not to have your kid read Harry Potter because they are fun and fanciful, but you better be aware of what it is. So you got your kid is sitting there rechanting, re-saying, not a real good idea. And these movies, no, it's not that hard to get this information. It's not that hard to research it. So they want a really good movie. Ooh, let's make it as real as possible. So yes, it is that bad. I will not watch them anymore. There are certain shows like The Haunting. No way in heck will I watch that. I have got to shut it off. The negative energy that comes through my screen is horrible. Why do I want to welcome that into my home? Sure, I can say a prayer, I can bless my television, and I can sit there and watch it, but why? It's just all that negative coming at me. Anything you would like to add, darling?
I'm with Nora. It's 300% negative, and my daughter, my young teenage daughter, sometimes likes to watch like Supernatural and shows like that. And before we even turn them on, I say a prayer and I make them say it out loud. And she's like, "Mom, why?" I said, "Why do you think when you know it's not a work night that I'm leaving here and with my," she calls it my boogie woogie bag. And she's like, "You're so cool, Mom. Give me a high five. You're going to go kick some human butt." And I'm like, "Yeah, but, I got to make sure you guys are safe before I walk out that door." And she's like, "But why, Mom?" I said, "It's all what's coming through the TV and the Xbox and every other oracle that they can use. And the kids just don't even realize it. And they're getting beat up with it with text messaging and the Instagrams and all these electronics that they're constantly bleep, 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 bleep. It's reformatting their brain and changing the way they communicate and think."
Okay.
So just because it looks innocent doesn't mean it is innocent.
Right. So those of you who are joining us really late, like Sherry, sorry you missed us. We really have to wrap it up. So
Well, tell her about the empowerment code.
yeah, for the next, just for 3 days, we have a 25% discount on the Atlantic City event. Just put in the word empowerment in full capital letters. Please don't go to our Atlantic City event through Facebook. I'm going to be taking that down and resetting it. Go through our website, intuition.com, go to events and log in that way, because that will give you the opportunity to put in the 25% discount code, which is the word empowerment. Sometimes Sunday late, you will get a notice as to us promoting the classes. We hope to have a webinar together for you. Chris and I will be together to talk about it, answer your questions. And that's about it. For those of you who would like to see recaps of any of the shows, they are all on YouTube. You could look it up through my name or Chris's or Into Intuition. All of the meditations are there that I do, as well as all the stuff Chris and I do together. Other than that, guys, it's 10 o'clock and it's time for us to sign off.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you and God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.